Hey, do you guys like Weekly Shonen Jump?
Weekly Shonen Jump is home to some of the most iconic manga in the entire world.
You know, like the magazine that like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece all came from? Yeah, that magazine has a lot of different manga in it, and I, Busham Zero, everyone's least favorite VTuber, have been caught up with all of it. Yeah, I read literally every single manga that's in this magazine. Everything, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all like 22-ish manga in this magazine. Yeah, I'm caught up on all of it. And today we're gonna be reviewing every single one to let you guys know my thoughts on the matter. What do I think of every single one of these? Does he like JJK? Does he like Black Clover, or does he hate it blindly like I do? Well, watch the video till the end, because I'm not covering your favorite manga, One Piece, until the very end of the video. So if you want to hear my thoughts, you're going to hear my thoughts all the way through. And of course, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free to give you my general thoughts, because I want you guys to get your own opinions on each of these manga. In fact, comment down below what you think about each of the manga in the magazine and what your favorite manga in Weekly Shonen Jump is right now. I'm Busham Zero. I stream almost pretty much every day on the channel, and I make a new video every Friday at 12 p.m. PST. So subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss another one of those videos, and like and comment down below so you let me know what you think about videos like this. This video is going to be a long one. Oh god, is it going to be a long one. So starting off,
I like a tall woman with a nice big ass. Just saying, like Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion.
if you want to know my thoughts about JJK, go watch my video about JJK. I pretty much summarize what I think about JJK in that video, but again, for people who don't know what JJK is for some ungodly reason, Yuji Itadori is trying to live like a normal life. He's just a normal dude. He's got superhuman powers, like physical strength for some reason, but otherwise, he's just trying to live out his life, enjoy himself. But he ends up having to swallow a thingy because like his classmates were stupid and stole this demon thingy from a box and tried to unwrap it like the forbidden Tootsie Roll. It was a little weird. So he has to swallow the thingy, and because he swallowed the thingy of the strongest demon, he now has to swallow all of the thingies so that they don't get into the wrong hands. Yeah, hijinks, it's basically just Naruto and Bleach. It's pretty much what it is. And it's good. JJK is good. Like, it has really good fights at times, and I think the power system is fairly simple to understand when it's not bombarding you with endless information and manuals for games. But yeah, I just kind of like wish sometimes it would get to the point. And a lot of times you'll be reading JJK and it'll end up being kind of like this meme right here. Yeah, my ability has the ability to activate quantify the quantum fields of the multi-dimensional, and then you just punch it in the face. That's kind of like how all these fights are. But yeah, it's good. I don't like it as much as everybody else does. I hate Gojo, and if you like Gojo, I'm sorry for your loss.
This is so cool. I'm gonna get a good breakfast. Wait, what is this? Why does it have a face? Why are you feeding it Hawks' eggs?
Boku no Hero Academia. My Hero Academia, Deku's Wild Ride is a manga that everyone in the anime club jerks off. I mean, for good reason. MHA's good, and I keep bouncing between which version of the name I'm going to call it, because whatever rolls off the tongue at the time. When you see things like Boku no Hero Academia,
how come we called it Boku no Hero Academia, but then didn't use the Japanese name for anything else?
But basically, Deku wants to be a hero, but because he has a pinky toe, he can't be a hero. He has no powers because he has a pinky toe.
If someone doesn't have their pinky toe, they fall over. It's the most important toe on the human body.
And his favorite superhero is All Might, who's basically Superman. But because Bakugo's getting bored, Deku stops him from being bored, and that shows Superman that Deku can be a hero. And that pushes All Might to want to have Deku as his successor. And, you know, I've always been a fan of MHA. I've been watching that since the anime came out. I've been caught up pretty much since Class A versus Class B, I'm pretty sure. And MHA has some of the best art in the magazine, some of the coolest fights. Generally, I love a lot of the characters. Like, I'm not like going crazy over like most of them. Most of them are like background characters. The cast is sort of like Naruto in that sense, but certain ones I really latched onto, and it's been pretty consistent throughout. The problem that I have with MHA is that Horikoshi, I think, is like dying. Like he's clearly like pushing himself to like finish the art he does, because the art he does is psychopathic, and because of that, I feel like he's trying to rush the manga to the end, and you get weird decisions throughout. And this final arc in particular, I kind of feel is being fumbled just a little bit. Like, it's not bad, it's just not as good as what I feel it should be. MHA's just been making a lot of weird mistakes as of recently. But I think throughout the rest of the manga, MHA has been very, very good. It has some of the best emotional moments. If you don't think that the 1-2 combo of the Overhaul arc followed by the School Festival arc isn't some of the best pieces of battle shown in history, you're just a hater. I'm sorry, that's just how things work.
Black Clover fans, when Asta pulls out his sword and says, Mata Mata Da. Yes! Yes! This is me! This is literally me!
Black Clover is a manga that everyone who's never read it loves to hate, but it's top 5 in the magazine easy. Black Clover's heat, Black Clover's fire. Every time I read a chapter of Black Clover, I get energized. I feel powerful. I know what it's like to go beyond my limits. If you hate Black Clover, there's something wrong with you. Asta wants to be the Wizard King, but he has no magic. Tough to be the Wizard King when you have no magic, and classism is a bitch. But his brother in the orphanage, has more magic than him, and kind of humiliates him in front of his nun that he wants to marry. But Asta did more push-ups, and because he did more push-ups than anybody else did, he got the magic grimoire that allows him to use the power of anti-magic, and he has a big sword. Black Clover is like if you took every good aspect of battle shonen and mushed it into this ball and it just perfected all of those aspects with the tightest pacing, probably one of the best overall casts in a battle shonen, some of the best female characters. Like, Noelle is easily one of the best female characters in a battle shonen ever, especially by that bullshit metric everybody does where it's like, oh, female characters only good if they can carry themselves in a fight, and Noelle can carry herself in a fight. And Asta's just a really, really likable protagonist. Once he gets past the arc where he's just only screaming, you realize that he's a very supportive, very kind individual who, there's a reason why everybody roots for him. There's a reason why I always get hyped when my short king beats the shit out of people. And while the art isn't as good as MHA's, the fights are still really good, and its power system's very easy to understand. And when you see the powers that they do have, it's some cool payoff. And unlike MHA, Black Clover isn't fumbling its final arc because it's always kind of been this fast paced. That's kind of the bonus of Black Clover. Black Clover's a manga that's made to binge, and it's always been fast paced. Where Black Clover ends its first arc on is where most manga usually spend like 50 chapters on. Black Clover's already done with it by like pretty early. It gets right to the shit, and that's what I love about Black Clover. If you're not reading Black Clover right now, what is wrong with you? Don't watch the anime though. Don't do that. Watch the openings and then move on with your life. Don't watch the anime for Black Clover. Just read the manga. The manga's heat.
Let me put you back together, then take you apart all over again.
So, there's this thing I like to call, and there'll be a video about this in the future, that I like to call a lamb to the slaughter. It is a manga that Weekly Shonen Jump like just releases in bulk that I know is just going to die. It is going to get canceled. And no matter how good it is, it's just gonna get killed. Fabricant 100 is a manga that I like, and unfortunately, I could totally see this one being a lamb to the slaughter. Recently though, in recent chapters, I've been led to believe that it's not, but you never know when this manga is just gonna get canned for no reason. So pretty much what Fabricant 100 is, there's this kid named Asumi Yao, and his family got harvested for parts by these things called fabricants. They're basically manufactured humans who gather human parts, like the best human parts, so that they can become the perfect human. And in order to get revenge for what they did to his family, he teams up with the number 100 fabricant in order to kill the rest of them, to stop them from killing anybody else. And yeah, the manga's really fun. You know, the duo of Fabricant 100 and Asumi Yao is really cool to see, and it's just overall really entertaining. It doesn't have like the best art, but like when it does have good fights, it has good fights and cool visuals. And it's been living up to its premise pretty well. The reason why I thought it was just gonna tank is because it hasn't been selling well and because of some stuff that happened in the manga. But now recently, I'm thinking it's moving into its next arc, which gives me hope that it's not gonna be a lamb and they're gonna let it survive a little longer. So if you get the chance, jump on Fabricant 100 right now, because I'm having a lot of fun with it. Also, how grippy do you think it is? By the mangaka who wrote Sket Dance, this is Witch Watch, a comedy slice of life romance series that I might enjoy less than some other people do. Morihito is an ogre. He's like a half ogre who has like super strength and all that. And his childhood friend Nico is like a witch, but she's like the most special witch. Most witches in this verse have like access to one type of spell, and Nico has access to every possible type of spell. And the entire premise of the series is that there are other people around her trying to take advantage of her or take the power from her. And Morihito is forced to be her bodyguard as she tries to live a normal life in high school. It's pretty cute, and at times it's even really funny, especially early on. There was some really funny stuff going on. And as the cast comes in and as the plot kicks in, it starts to become very enjoyable. Like the way the cast meshes together, the way it integrates new characters into gags, it was really entertaining for a little bit. Recently though, there's times when chapters can just kind of be like repetitive and not as funny as they should be, or it's a gag I've already seen 27 times, especially now that the manga is like becoming more plot driven. And it's kind of snapped out of it recently, where it's finally entering into plot territory, and I really like that. But just when it's trying to only be a comedy manga as of recent, especially after introducing all the plot it did halfway through the series, it's hard to get back into it. But I think the overall dynamics of the cast is really good.
The boy who lived has come to die.
Oh my god, do you guys like One Punch Man? Do you guys like Harry Potter? Do you guys like Black Clover if it was ass? MASHLE is a manga that is basically just like Jump's version of One Punch Man, but if One Punch Man was significantly more boring and didn't have any of the commentary on the type of character that Saitama is. MASH has no magic, but does hella push-ups. Oh wait, what does that sound like? And he's basically Saitama. It's Harry Punch Man, dude. You're a wizard, MASH, except you can't. The joke is that he does muscle things, and he's not actually doing magic. He's doing dumbbell flies to fly or something. And every single fucking opponent he ever fights, he beats in one hit, and there's no like existential dread that comes with it. It's just, I am MASH, me have muscle. I don't even want to be here, but I'm gonna beat up Guy. It'll be like Man waffles about 20,000 things, and then MASH just punches him in the face. It's funny, right? You laughed? Are you laughing? Are you laughing right now? It's funny, right? You can laugh. Yeah, MASHLE's not good. I don't like MASHLE, at least for most of the manga, because it's really hard to be invested in a battle shonen when 90% of the things I'm witnessing I know are just jokes. It is gags. It is things I am not meant to actually care about, but this manga insists that like there's a plot that's like central, and the only reason I'm holding back on that thought is that the final arc, for some ungodly reason, abandons all of that and is an actual good battle shonen. There's stakes, the fights are cool, and I just don't understand, because it takes all this 100 chapters, 100 plus chapters for it to even be fun. I don't know if there's anybody who like actually likes MASHLE. Like, you'll have to find me them, but to them I say just read One Punch Man or Mob Psycho 100 or Black Clover. I don't like MASHLE. I like its final arc, but overall I don't like MASHLE.
Also, this video took like a couple months to actually finish, so in that time MASHLE may have ended. The ending was fine. I have no thoughts about the ending. The ending was fine.
He whacked me with a pillow. Hard! I'm dizzy and I have serious short-term memory loss. The
Ichinose family's deadly sins is the wackiest adventure of my life, and every time I think it's gonna end, it doesn't, and it continues to throw me for a loop. So Tsubasa's family drove off a cliff, and now they have amnesia. Every single one of them. They all don't remember one another. They only know that the other one's family. And so they decide to restart their lives from zero, and they go home, and their rooms are basically the equivalent of, damn bitch, you live like this. And the entire manga is about all of them trying to figure out what happened, what their lives were like before they all got amnesia. And it's pretty cool. But there's literally a plot twist every single chapter, and it's wackier than the last time. And sometimes even the plot twists have a plot twist involved within them. And I know that sounds goofy to say, but I'm being serious. There's some crazy shit that just happens that you can't possibly predict. I definitely think it's gonna end soon, but if you want to get on the wild ride and see where it takes us, you should get on this shit now, because it's wacky. The art's very unique, and the way the cast works is pretty good. I think, though, it can just be a lot of sensory overload from the amount of what the hell is going on you'd be receiving every chapter.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
All right, go ahead.
Yep.
That's it, yeah.
Oh my god, guys, it's the Nisio Easton manga in the magazine. That means there's gonna be a lot of words. Glad to hear it, or sorry that happened to you. You know the manga's wordiness is bad when the translator literally quits because he decides that there's nothing he could have done. That's crazy. Iroha joins the Cypher Academy, which is a school where everybody trains to break codes and stop wars, right? That's pretty much the premise. But the difference is that Iroha is a boy and the Cypher Academy is an all-girls school. And they're gonna kick him out if he doesn't solve the puzzles well. And so here's the thing, right? I feel like I, as a person, would enjoy this more if I understood the Japanese language. If I could read kanji, if I could read katakana, I feel like I would understand this. Because, what is this? What is that? What do you want? Like, even like when it's translated, I know my guy was fighting for his life out there. I know in order to try to translate this for anyone to even understand, my guy was like fighting off the hordes of Satan. Cause like, what is this? What is this? Especially to translate that weekly, how? Because there's so much wordplay, so many things like I just personally could not understand, and I know is not getting fully translated to me because I don't speak that language, and there's nuances to the language that add to these puns that I'll just never understand, to the point where most of this manga kind of just becomes noise. When it chills out and I understand what the emotional core of what the story is telling to me is, then I kind of vibe with it. But for the most part, I just have I sit there with a blank face, not understanding what most of this is, only to see the last sentence of the manga and figure out what's going on. It's literally like, explain this to me in baseball terms sometimes. Like, I don't understand.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away.
The JJK to Sakamoto Days pipeline is real. I swear to God, every single JJK person I know on my timeline, every single one of them, I turn around and I find out that all of a sudden there's Sakamoto Days stands. And it makes sense because pretty much Sakamoto is just, if JJK had no waffling in it and was just action, straight scrapping for 21 pages. Pretty much what it is that Taro Sakamoto was the best assassin, the very best that no one ever was. But now he's a fat guy who runs a convenience store, so no one realizes it's him. But they start coming after him, and because that threatens his family, he fights back. The premise is very simple to understand. The fights are dynamic. The art is very good. It probably has some of the best fights in Weekly Shonen Jump. In terms of actual story, I think it's very straightforward. I don't think it's doing a lot that's complex. I think it is like, if you've ever read this sort of thing, you know what's gonna happen. Don't get me wrong. I think the cast and their dynamics and the way they interact is very fun. I just think it doesn't have a lot that really hooks me or grabs me like everything else does. And again, if you're into action, if you're into the pure aesthetic value of a battle shonen or of manga, then yeah, Sakamoto Days is your thing. It's probably why a lot of JJK fans get into it, but like, for me personally, I'm there to see cool fights, and I think cool, and I got my entertainment value out of the day. Go ahead and check it out. I personally recommend it.
Of all the crazy, ridiculous, raping lassies! What did they do to you?
Speaking of lambs to the slaughter, but also more importantly, assassins, even though I don't want this to be a lamb to the slaughter, this is a new manga by the mangaka behind Kuroko no Basket, and Kill Blue is pretty fun. Ogami Juzo was an assassin who feels like he kind of wasted his life. Like, his wife don't even talk to him, doesn't even see his kids, he's old, and all he does is murder people all day. But then he gets stung by a bee, and the bee turns him into a middle schooler. And in order to return back to his life as a middle-aged man, he has to infiltrate the school and be friends with the daughter of a CEO. Wacky hijinks ensue. Now, while the art isn't necessarily the best, what drives this manga is entirely the premise and the interactions between the characters. Seeing Juzo in this situation is really fun because he has to force himself to like blend in with all these middle schoolers as an old man. You really see this dynamic, and it's not like creepy because the way he goes about it is how an adult person should. And every time they try to force him into a creepy position, he obviously wants nothing to do with it. The way that he uses his experience in life to help these kids push forward into their own lives, into their own dreams and aspirations is really, really cool. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, and the direction that the story is taking is very good. I just hope it doesn't get canned, but with that Kuroko no Basket clout, I think it should be able to stay a little longer. That's what I'm hoping.
I think what we all want to know now is, are you going to be boxing again after this?
Oh, fuck no!
But, you know what's not staying around, and I don't really care if it does stay around, is Do Retry. Another lamb to the slaughter. God. Aozora is poor during post-World War II Japan, and he wants to become a boxer in order to save his sister because his dad was a boxer and that's what he was inspired by. It's pretty much every boxing manga ever with the extra dose of in this corner of the world tragedy is what I thought it was, but then it started doing like actual boxing stuff, and now I'm kind of just not feeling it. It's just kind of not entertaining, and it goes for this over-the-top sort of presentation that detaches me so much that I just stopped caring. I mean, the art to begin with isn't exactly the best. Like, it was pretty decent for the first 2 chapters, but once it started getting into the boxing aspect of the manga, it started being really weird. See, I'm the kind of person who vibes with the manga like Hajime no Ippo or Ashita no Joe, where there's a certain level of boxing know-how that's implemented into the manga to where you understand that the manga has knowledge that could be applied to the situation. And even though it's overgeneralized, you get the sense that, yeah, this could work in real life. Do Retry introduced something that made my head hurt a little bit, and it's getting to the point where it's like they kind of just threw out terms in order to make it seem more high stakes. I don't vibe with it personally, and I don't know if I entirely care because it's gonna get like tanked anyway, but based off of the way things are going.
Hello, I'm a nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have to.
Now, if there was a manga that isn't gonna tank, it's Tenmaku Cinema. This is by the mangaka behind Shokugeki no Soma, and it's kind of like if Shokugeki had no degeneracy, but all the style and hype, but instead of cooking, it's film. Oh my god, this manga is good. Shinichi Hajime is a letterboxd user, and he gets possessed by Tenmaku Takehiko, the ghost of a screenwriter, and together they work to make the greatest film ever. I'll be real with you, the first chapter of this manga had me kind of annoyed with the main character because the way he was talking kind of made me think he exclusively watches video essayists all day, the way he was throwing around terminology. Capitalism. But that kind of goes away once he actually gets into the process of making a movie and movie knowledge. As the manga's gone on, its actual use of film knowledge has been pretty on point. And again, it's the Shokugeki mangaka. That art's gonna be good no matter what you thought. Like, oh, it's so good. Every time reading this manga, it has that art style that makes you know it's not going anywhere. Of all the new manga that Shonen Jump pushed out in bulk, this is one I'm really looking forward to. And the fact that it's using this in order to push Hajime into his goal of being a filmmaker, having him work with this actress, it's so good. And the fact that it's from the Shokugeki mangaka and it's actually tasteful in how it's presenting the woman, it's pretty cool. Like, Hinaki's pretty cute, and her character as she interacts with Hajime is really, really good, and I want to see where this manga goes. Go read it now.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot.
Unlike Do Retry, there is actually a new martial arts manga that just premiered in Weekly Shonen Jump at the time of me recording this that is actually good and displays all the technical know-how I kind of want from this sort of series. Martial Master Asumi is a manga about Nito Asumi, who on the outset kind of seems like a little wimp, like he lets himself get bullied all the time, to the point where his friend Yuya Fuchida has to defend him from these bullies. Little does anybody know that Nito Asumi's grandfather is one of the greatest greatest martial artist of all time and has been training him since he was a kid. He just refuses to fight because it's not in his nature. However, after being taken to an MMA gym by this girl Naokiba, Nito Asumi finds out about MMA and realizes that he might actually like fighting. So for anyone who has read the manga Teppu, this manga high-key kind of reminds me of it and actually kind of seems like a pretty big successor. Just the way the style and the fact that the one who led them to the martial arts gym was a girl. It's really fun so far. I really like the first chapter. For someone like me who appreciates MMA, this sort of story and the way they're going about it and the knowledge that they're showing is really in-depth, and I'm enjoying this a lot. This manga, I really hope stays because it does show pretty big promise, especially after that one martial arts manga that was a lamb to the slaughter. However, it all depends on sales, and I know that people won't buy this immediately because the world isn't fair. But you guys should read it. There is always at least one romance series carrying Shonen Jump, but this time it's a crossover between the romance and the sports genres. And sports is another genre that always carries Weekly Shonen Jump. The 1-2 punch of romance and sports has always been in the magazine, but rarely have we seen one that melds both together perfectly, might I add. Blue Box is heat. Inumaki Taiki is on the badminton team, and he's in love with an upperclassman on the basketball team named Kano Chinatsu. She might have to leave school because her parents are moving out, and in a last-ditch effort to get her to stay, he offers to let her move into his house. I've never seen a manga accurately use the best aspects of the romance genre and the sports genre together like that. Competition, working to improve yourself, seeing others change and changing alongside them, great cast, competition, it's so good. Every week Blue Box gives me some of the best shit in the magazine. There's a new crazy development literally every chapter and it never stops. The cast is lovable. We have full reason to root for everyone as they push for their goals, and once the sports stuff really kicks into gear, because early on when it was mostly romance, it was a little lesser than it could be, but then once the sports aspect got fully into gear, that's when this manga reached its peak. I love Blue Box. It's easily one of the best things in the magazine. Hina's best girl, you just gotta read it now. There's some shit happening in the manga right now that's, oh my god, just get on it now.
Why did you leave me? Why?
Oh god, LOL. I'm gonna go jump off something.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh god. By the same mangaka behind Ass Class, but this time it's bad and boring and Shotokan bait. What? Hojo Tokiyuki is the successor to the Kamakura Shogunate, but it gets usurped by Takeuchi Ashikaga, so he tries to take it back. Do you like Japanese history classes? Do you like it being told in the most wordy way possible? Do you like art that just doesn't really portray the character very well to the point where I swear to god I saw 3 characters and I thought they were the same? Do you like being bored literally every chapter and wondering why to god anything is even happening anymore? Ass Class is one of my favorite manga of all time. It's so good, it's so great, and it's one of the pillars of Weekly Shonen Jump. So why this? Why this? I just don't care for anything. The characters aren't that likable or memorable. Every time something happens, it's like white noise. Main character liked to run away. He liked to run away, escape a lot. Run away, run, get real unironic, and I mean this, unironically horny about running away, and he's like 12. Oh god, I just don't care. I just don't care. I just don't care. Get it out. I've never met anyone who actually likes this manga. I've never met them. I need to find someone who likes this manga because maybe they'll tell me why they're delusional and why I'm right. End this manga, please. It's I thought it was gonna end soon, but it's having a time skip right now, and I'm fed up. I'm just done. Make it end, please. Get it away from me.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Oh my god, lamb to the slaughter. lamb to the slaughter, all prepped up. Nue's Exorcist is boring. It's basically just sauceless JJK. It's literally sauceless JJK. I think it kind of got better, but I don't care. Yajima sees a spirit, he gets the power from Nue, gets Exorcist powers. There's like one of these every single other year, and they're all just either lesser JJK or they're lesser Bleach. I don't care. Moving on. This one's getting canned.
And my axe.
Ice-headed Gill is,
No one can beat me when it comes to the axe. No one can beat me when it comes to the axe.
Viking.
No one can beat me when it comes to the axe. When it comes to the axe, no one can beat me.
Bearded axe. Wikipedia. The phrase is a bearded axe, or skegox, from the Old Norse skeg.
The jokes write themselves. It doesn't matter. Get it out of here.
Just let me die! Just let me die! Let me die in peace! This is what happens when you try to play God!
Undead Unluck is raw as fuck. Oh my god, I love Undead Unluck. Woo! Izumo Fuko is unlucky, and everything she touches gets bad luck. She meets this guy she ends up calling Andy after trying to low-tier God herself, and he tries to get her to love him enough to give him a real death, because the way her power works is the more she loves something, the more unluck they'll experience if they touch her. And early on, it's not exactly the best. It gets a little weird, but once it actually gets into its premise, it's so good. I mean, early on already has some of the coolest fights and some of the best art in the magazine. Look at these 2-page spreads. Oh my god. Izumo Fuko is, again, one of the best protagonists in the magazine. Again, a female protagonist for anybody who's like still complaining about that. And seeing her grow as over the course of the series, getting more experience, more into her ideals, and how she interacts with the rest of the cast and saves them is so good. And it's been consistently one of my favorites of the magazine since the spring arc. And since the spring arc of the magazine, it's been like shooting upwards in quality. Every week, Undead Unluck introduces some crazy shit. And its power system is actually really interesting. The fact that everyone's powers is tied to their own emotional traumas and who they are, and how it flips the things they desire in an opposite direction, how they have to work with that is so good. And this newest arc, if I already didn't think Undead Unluck was good, this newest arc is showing me a whole different level. The anime is coming out soon. If you don't want to read the manga now, just wait for the anime and then catch up.
I don't have friends. I got family.
So this is the third spy/assassin manga in the magazine, and haha, it's also top 3 in the magazine. Mission Yozakura Family is goated and raw, and it's not talked about even nearly enough, despite the fact of how long it is and how much Weekly Shonen Jump just refuses to push it. Asano Taio's family is dead, and he only interacts with his childhood friend Mutsumi Yozakura, and she's the head of a family of spies. Unfortunately, her older brother's a creep and a weirdo, and he's overprotective, and tries to kill Taio for being too close to her. So the only way that he'll be safe is if he becomes part of the Yozakura family and marries Mutsumi. And in order to become part of the Yozakura family, he's got to train the same way they do, as some of the top spies in the country. Now, the art early on isn't the best. I mean, the picture that they use for Mal is, that first volume is scuffed, but as you can tell by volume covers now, the art improves drastically and is pretty consistent, if not just amazing at times. Yozakura Family has one of my favorite casts in the magazine. The way the entire Yozakura family interacts, and the way their family traumas like build them up, and the way that they love each other as family members, and the fact that Taio pushes himself the way he does, and even someone like Kyoichiro, who's a creep, ends up being a really good character. And this manga easily has some of the hardest emotional moments in the magazine. I kind of want to make a video about Yozakura Family down the line, because I don't think I'm going to be doing well enough of a job to describing it right now. I think you should jump on it now and give it a chance. Of the spy assassin manga in the magazine, it's probably the best because it has that good balance of emotional impact and action. And this newest arc, which has been a trend with some of these, the newest arc slaps. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's top 1 in the magazine. Hasn't missed a single time. If you don't like the words raw, goat, pig fiction, Get out!
Cause those are gonna come up like 50 times in here, man.
This is a manga about Rakugo, with all of the hype of your favorite sports series. Nah, your favorite action series. Akane-banashi is the pinnacle of manga, and the best thing in the magazine. Osaki Akane's dad is a Rakugoka, which is basically like he performs Rakugo. Have you ever seen this one Rakugo show, or the that song that went around? That's Rakugo, right? And her dad is trying to advance forward in the promotion exam, but his master Arakawa Isho expels everyone in the test from his school. And Akane makes it her goal to advance further to prove her dad's Rakugo was great. But it doesn't just stay about her trying to prove her dad's Rakugo was right. It becomes about her trying to prove it to herself that she can be a great Rakugoka too, and to show her love for the art form. It's so good. It's very tightly paced. It's only at chapter 70, but it's already like at places where most manga take like 100 chapters to go to. And look at this art. This art's so good. Look at these manga covers. Oh, it's so good. And it has a crazy development every chapter. Again, it's basically a sports series. And Akane is just one of the best protagonists in the magazine right now. She's so good. If you aren't reading Akane-banashi right now, do it right now. This is another manga I'm gonna have to make a video on because this is taking off. And based off the numbers, I think Akane-banashi is gonna end up being a staple of Weekly Shonen Jump.
Yo!
Give it up, Luffy!
It's the thing you've all been waiting for, guys. It's One Piece. We're finally talking about One Piece. And Jump is cooked once One Piece ends. You know what this is about. Monkey D. Luffy wants to be the Pirate King. If you need more of an explanation, you live under a rock. So here's the thing about One Piece. One Piece is the manga that everybody won't shut up about. And it's the manga that people just for some reason refuse to read or watch. I mean, based off those numbers, I don't blame you, but it's for some reason one that nobody will shut up about. And here's the thing. Luffy's a great protagonist, and it has some of the best overall casts in the magazine, right? I think if you're talking about overall consistency of casts, One Piece kind of has something over the big three and even Dragon Ball, right? I think that's just kind of indisputable. But here's my thing. I'm not the biggest fan of Jump's Golden Child. I kind of have it as the worst of the big three, and I think it doesn't rank very highly comparatively to other things I've talked about, if you can tell by my tone of voice talking about One Piece. Here's the thing. It takes a while for an arc to pay off. For example, Skypiea is an arc that I read and I was just kind of bored throughout it, and I didn't really vibe with it until the very end of the arc when everything came together. You're getting all the pieces and you don't get what the pieces are until literally they're assembled for you all together at the very last second. That's kind of what One Piece is. I don't know about you. Say what you will about Bleach or Naruto. Bleach and Naruto didn't have Davy back fight. So that's a big thing that One Piece just also doesn't have. One Piece has a lot of stinker arcs, and a lot of it's just stuff that'll be paid off way later down the line. And when you're reading this, it's hard to be completely invested. I'll be honest with you, the art as of recently has gotten kind of worse. It's just like ever since Wano, it's just been kind of like harder to look at. And especially since Oda's been trying to end One Piece. I swear to God, there was like a spread that like usually would have been its own spread, but now was also surrounded by other manga panels, and I felt like I was slowly losing my mind. And most of it's just exposition now. It's hard to say that One Piece is the best thing in the magazine when 90% of it is just promises of something else that'll be coming down the line. However, I do know this though. Usopp versus Buggy's gonna change the course of anime forever because two of the strongest characters in all fiction are gonna square off. Am I done yet? Is that everything in the mag? Oh wait, there's...
It's been 20 years, Daddy. I really hate you.
I'm not even sure why this is counting. I'm not even sure why RuriDragon is counting. I look on the magazine and Jump is just trying really hard to pretend that Hunter x Hunter is still publishing or something. Part of its lineup, I don't know, man. Gon's daddy left for milk, so Gon went to go find out what makes milk so good. It's fine. It's like all of my complaints about current One Piece and JJK, but like infinitely worse. Like, it's fine. I think everybody likes it, hypes it up overall. But like, it's a light novel, dog. It's a light novel. Sometimes it's a game manual, other times it's a light novel. It just really wants to talk a lot. I like it better as an anime, but just look at this shit, dog. If I wanted to read a light novel, I'd just read Index. I'll be real with you. That's what I would do. Again, I don't know what everybody hypes this one up when Yu Yu Hakusho is just a better Togashi series. That's all I'm saying, and it's never gonna end. Ooh. Thank you guys for watching. I'm pretty sure that's everything. Oh wait, I forgot one last thing.
That's what I'm talking about!
Me and Roboco is peak. Me and Roboco is literally the embodiment of Weekly Shonen Jump. Me and Roboco is peak comedy. Every chapter makes me every single time. If you don't understand the appeal of me and Roboco, I think you're stupid. I think you're dumb. If you already aren't on me and Roboco, maybe you should just be like Gachi Gorilla and take a Roboco knee to the face. You should just get blasted. I am tired of you. All of you who are not on the Roboco train right now, you're worthless to me. You don't even mean anything. You are less than dirt. Why are you not on the Roboco train? Why are you not hyping up Roboco like a true smart individual? Oh my god. Jump on me and Roboco now or jump off my dick, motherfucker. Thank you guys for watching another video by yours truly, Busham0. Again, this was a bit of a long one. The raw recording for this is almost an hour long. I want to die. So please let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And if you want to see more long videos like this. And again, make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below what you think of these videos. And make sure you ring that bell so you don't miss another video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.